So you're going to go through the paper. Multiple choice questions. What do I expect to hear? Things like this. So when you're listening for these specific details, you're going to write, okay, what are these numbers that I'm expecting to hear? If it's just key vocabulary, quickly, what are the key words that I'm expecting to hear? What are the key verbs that I'm expecting to hear? Okay. When you're like the who said questions, again, pick out key bits of vocabulary. So for example, overwhelmed, you're going to try and find that, you're going to write what that word is. You don't need to write feels overwhelmed. I might write the verb to feel next to it, sentir, circle that homework, deberes. So I'm listening for who's going to say that. Thinks PE, so I might put an opinion phrase. I might just put OP for, I'm going to hear one of the opinion phrases. They might not say pienso. Okay, when there's lots of different types of vocabulary to express an idea, don't translate that word. But PE, there isn't. The worst, I'm looking for lo peor. Subject, asignatura. Wants more hands-on learning. Okay, so what is hands-on learning? What are we looking for? The adjective, practical. Can you see that? Rather than trying to threat mano, because he's not going to say mano. I promise you he's not going to say mano. Okay. And so he wants to, and then I would be looking for the verb to learn and wants, because that's like quiero, okay, that's very simple. More, we're looking for that word más, something that is practical and aprender. So practical, aprender. Believes, again, there's loads of different ways that you're going to hear that, but what is going to be different about all of these? The word profesora, okay, explicar, better, mejor, okay, exams, exámenes, memorizar, okay, so you've got those, move on. Now, I'm looking at open questions like this because these are the top 3 most difficult questions that students find. Why was Blanca disappointed at first? So now we all know the word decepcionado. We're going to stick that word there. That's a key word I'm looking for. What helped her change her mood during the trip? So if she's changing her mood, it's going to be something along of, you're going to hear the word like she felt better, she was happy, she was more content. So those are some keywords that would be putting next to this question. What emotion does Blanca express when leaving the village? How do I say to leave? Any clue? Begins with S. Good. Salir. So I'm going to put that keyword here. And village. How do we say village in Spanish? Pueblo. Well done. Good. A lot of people would say things like barrio or ciudad. No, it's pueblo is a village. So those are the keywords that I'll be putting there. How did the time with her family impact her? Okay. So I was looking for words like I felt. So me sentí. And then the word familia. What does spelling error Blanca's final comments suggest about her habits now? So I would put a star next to that. It is the last question. It is the last sentence, the last few paragraphs. There's not much you can do rather than remind yourself that you just need to be listening to, like once you've heard all this, focus on that. Okay? Does that help in terms of how to prepare? You're not translating every word. You're thinking about what is going to be the most helpful thing to write down, because a lot of students make the mistake of just trying to translate every word and then you use the 5 minutes. There are too many questions for you to do that. Excellent. Hola. This is Estriana, the director at the GCSE Spanish Academy here. I hope you enjoyed that video and it was really, really helpful. So the next thing that you're going to need to do is make sure that you know how to actually revise for the listening exam. And I know a lot of students struggle with this, and this is why I've created this questionnaire so that I can then, if you're not adverse to filling this 2 to 3 minute questionnaire out for me, I will send your parent, however they've contacted me, a Loom video, so a video just like this with everything that you need to know or that you need in order to be able to revise for the listening paper based on what you are specifically struggling with. So all you've got to do, it won't look specifically like this for you, this is the editing so I can edit it, but all you'll need to do is write your name I need the information of how your parent contacted me. So what their name is, either on Facebook or Instagram, however they contact me. All you got to do is, how did you contact Estrella at the GCSE Spanish Academy? What's your username, so that I can find them to be able to send them this learn video. What year group you in, the exam board, and then just the answer to a few questions around your revision. So about your revision, what you're currently doing now, and then what you're actually struggling with when it comes to listening. If you can give me an example, what grade you'd like to achieve by the end of year 11. If you were to do a listening at a 10, how many marks would you typically get? And then if you think that there's anything else that I need to know surrounding schooling, kind of like what lessons are like, how often you actually practice listening, if you've got things like dyslexia and things like that, just anything that helps me, gives me a bit more context to be able to help you. And what I will do is I will send your parent a video walking them through exactly how you need to revise based on your goals and what you are struggling with now, so that you're clear not only on how to prepare for those first 5 minutes, but also how to prepare in your revision so that you are able to get the most marks out of the listening exam. The link to this will appear at the end of the video, giving you, and there'll be a direct link for you to be able to actually access this, complete it, and then I will send you that link video. Right, that's it from me. Adios.